Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Brighton podcast, brought to you by the Global Sports Podcast Network. Today, I am joined by the General, Jamie G, mate. How are you?
Oh, well, what an amazing weekend, and very good after it. So, just another week, another win against our bitter foes, Chelsea.
And just as Jamie alluded to, we have beaten the mighty Chelsea again, or maybe the not so mighty Chelsea. We've dumped them out of the cup, and we have just dumped 3 goals on their head top as well. So things we absolutely love to see. We are going to be reacting to it today. 3-0 win on Friday night. Matoma with, we're going to touch on it, but unbelievable. And Minte with 2 goals as well. But first, in the first segment, I just want to talk a little bit about sort of like a little bit of tactical change and how that's sort of affected this sort of recent run, bar the 7-0. In the second segment, going to talk a little bit about some players who have maybe potentially turning their form around. And in the final segment, we are going to be speaking about the Matoma goal and some of the comments made by Maresca and maybe that lighting a little bit of a fire under the boys. So, Guerra, how did you find the game, mate?
Well, can we play you every week? Can we play you every week?
Is that the right tone for that chant?
No, I don't think so.
Mine off it, yeah?
We don't get a chance to say it often, so I haven't really practiced that song. But I did hear the fans on the TV talk about it and like chant it to the Chelsea fans while they were in the stadium, and I found it so funny. But yeah, I mean, can we play them every week? Because we are making light work of them. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a comfortable win. I'm not even saying that. I never thought they looked like scoring, and in fact, I think they didn't have a shot on target.
I have got the stats next to me, and they did not have a shot on target.
They didn't have a shot on target. It didn't feel like it. And yeah, I think they just created nothing. All the chances that they created were perfect for Adam Webster and Van Hecker. They were just balls into the box. So, like, chip balls, crosses, easy to defend. Like, honestly, they did not look creative at all. As soon as you mark Cole Palmer out the game, they're toast.
Yeah, 100%. And do you know what? I feel like Cole Palmer might be on a little bit of fraud watch at the moment because he's not. I feel like he's not. Don't get me wrong. I don't watch Chelsea every week. I couldn't think of anything worse actually. But he just doesn't seem like the same player that he was last year. So. I mean,
certainly not against us.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, it is good for us anyway that he's sort of in a bit of a rut in form anyway. I'm saying that with no stats to back it up, by the way. I just feel like when I've seen him play, it just hasn't looked great. But what I do want to sort of go on to a little bit here is potentially the reason why you're saying all these things. And we have seen a change in formation. And we were sort of not arguing, but we were sort of debating how it works, because neither of us are tacticos, by the way, but we were sort of debating how it works. And obviously on paper, it's a 5-4-1, allegedly. And but obviously that modern football is very much now, you don't play the same formation when you're defending than you do when you have the ball, sort of thing. So I just want to touch on it quickly because I feel like it's made a massive difference. We spoke about when we actually lost to Chelsea earlier in the season, we spoke about how the line needed to drop. It seems like that's been a thing. 5 at the back with Minte and Lamptey as the wing backs and a lot more compact. So what do you sort of take from what you've seen from the new sort of system?
Well, yeah, like you said, we said from time after each other that we needed to sometimes change the way we play. We can't be naive and just keep playing this high line. So I feel like Hertzler has listened or has kind of acknowledged that himself, and he has gone to this like deep line. Let's be hard to break down. Let's be hard. Let's be a hard team to break down. And I think that all comes from the Nottingham Forest result. I think that result was such a wake up call for Hertzler. How wrong he got it, and the ability for him to change. He actually needs a lot of credit because fans.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure fans are still out there calling for his head, which is crazy, as we said many a time. You can tell he's a good manager. He's A31 managing in the Premier League, and his ability to adapt that we've seen so often this season. Sure, sometimes his risk taking, like the Nottingham Forest game where he played Pedro and Ruta, and like all our attackers against that. That was pure ignorance. And then he's
definitely.
quickly learned. Although he said after the game, "Oh, I'll do it again." I think we all know from what he's just been putting on and playing recently, he would not do it again. He regrets that decision. He knows, we need to be much more compact here because our defenders are not good enough to play this high line, like especially when Dunk is in. Adam Webster's filling in now. Like they aren't good enough to play this high line where balls are just constantly played in behind. So he's gone for this much more compact 5 at the back when we're defending. That's what we were debating earlier, wasn't it? We're debating because Minter has basically got a new role now. He's playing as a right wing back. He's taking the Sanchos, the Maduekis, who do you have this game?
Neto, Sancho, Madueke,
yeah. And like he's
Tariq George.
Tariq George, yeah. So like, and he's doing a really good job because we've said for time his best attribute, or one of his best attributes that maybe isn't pace, is defensive work. He is unbelievable defender. I think Hertzler then looked at that and probably went, "That's like a secret weapon that you can. Let's find a way to have him defending more positions, and let's be really resolute at the back." And it's kind of paid off the last 2 games anyway.
100%, mate. And like, to be fair, with Minte's position, I actually think that I could be wrong here, but I feel like he might have actually played there a couple of times for Feyenoord. I'm not sure if that's actually 100% correct. I feel like I've seen it somewhere, and I just thought I'd say it because I feel like I have seen that he did play there at times. But we did say about his defensive acumen and stuff like that, and I do think you're so right about the fact that we don't really have the personnel to play in a high line. And obviously, like, the stats sort of back how the game went and how we have changed, because we actually had quite a lot of possession average wise throughout most of this season. We had 30% on Friday. 30% without winning 3-0 and without the opposite team having a shot on target is almost the perfect way to sort of be like, this is going to work. And you'd obviously touched on the adaptability side of Hertzler, and I feel like when he said I wouldn't like change anything, I feel like he meant if you were to like rewind that game, he'd do the same thing again. But then going forward, he has actually learned. And we spoke. I don't know if these podcasts even went out, because this might have just been sort of like the pre-season when we were like practicing with each other sort of thing. Yes, we practiced with each other before we actually started this season, but like we spoke about how do we think it's going to go with Hertzler, and I said that, I think it was me that said it, it might have been me or Bless, but we said that he's going to go for a tough period, and it's about how he adapts to that tough period as to whether his time in the Premier League is going to be a long, prosperous career. And that could be at Brighton for X amount of years. It could be anywhere. I mean, he's young, and he's probably going to, like, him just by maths, he's probably going to be manage another 5 teams before the end of his career, whatever. But like, I do think it's such a good sign for a young manager to be able to adapt in the hardest league in the world. Anyone could, I actually saw a podcast clip about it was Olaena, and he was on maybe even on a Twitch stream, and he was talking about like how this league, anyone could beat anyone, and like you need to always constantly sort of be on your toes as to what's going on. And I mean, it is very good sign that he's done that. I'd like to now for him to sort of try and make the push for Conference League, and then basically see where we're at by the end of the season, and then get another window where you can address now that you've seen it for a season, you can address sort of all the bits that you want. And then I'm curious to see how he then goes into the following season. Does he change it up again? Does he sort of now build the team around this setup, or do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, though, we are going to go for a short break where you're going to hear from our new sponsors, brand new, beep, 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 brand new sponsors, Bioniq, and then we are going to talk about some of the, let's say, fringe players and how well they've been doing. So we will see you after this short break.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimize your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN 2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
And do you know what? I've actually not heard that ad read before, so I didn't even know when it was going to end. But as you can tell, it wasn't me that time. But we are back, segment 2. And Gera, a couple of players stood out to you this game. Tell me more.
Well, I've alluded to him already. I'll start with the brace getter, and that is Yankuba Minter.
Mm-hmm.
I think we spoke about the formation, how we defend with a 5, but we attack with a 4-2-4. And I think the only reason that works is the energy that Minter brings, and the pace. So he is not only locking up the winger for the other team, giving Veltman some respite, but when we're on the attack, he's the one that's also sprinting forward for the counter attack.
Always free as well.
Always empty, because he's just got the pace in behind. He's got the kind of awareness to find the space out wide. Players don't really want to get close to him. Cucurella had an absolute nightmare, and I loved seeing every single minute of it.
100%.
It was a dream. He got put into Minter was just giving him hell, and
I know exactly what you were going to say then. Can't say that, man.
No, exactly. Had to restrain myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, just what a performance. I mean, he got his 2 goals as well to kind of cap off such a brilliant performance. And let's allude to the 2 goals that he scored. I mean, the first one, the composure is what I really like to see. When the ball gets played in by Ruta, then it gets saved out by Jorgensen or whatever his name is. You kind of think, I kind of thought, chances kind of gone there, because Danny Welbeck then turned his back to goal. There was a bit of a mess of who was going to get on the end of it. He passes it to Minter. Minter's composed enough in that situation where he's about 3 yards from goal to not just smash it, take it round Cucurella, who's dived to the floor, and then beat the men on the line, actually place it and also kind of smash it.
He definitely did not place that. He just hit it. 100%.
He just hit it, but 3 people are on the line, and he's managed to find a gap. So that's what I kind of said. Smash it and place it ish.
Yeah. He would have got a pen anyway, because Cucurella's actually slide tackled him and is nowhere near the ball.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then
the second one is the same, basically.
The second one was Jadon Sancho's controller disconnected, and Yankuba Minter spotted it. Jadon Sancho, have you seen the memes as well? He was doing the chill guy as he watched Minter score. It was actually he's just standing there with his hands in his pockets going, that's probably on me.
To be fair, mate, that's just what he's about, isn't it, really? He's very lazy footballer, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think that goal is what we all expected from him when he signed. Getting literally to the byline, cutting in, putting it away. I've seen it in so many clips of his goals at Feyenoord. And I mean, that is exactly what we not come to expect, but like that's exactly what we expected. I do want to point out one thing. This is very off topic, but I don't know. I have not seen any rumours about him moving. By the way, he was pointed at the badge and saying, "I'm staying." I'm thinking, brother, no one said you're leaving, mate. You've literally just signed. You've been here for like 6 months, mate. What is going on? He's pointing at the badge and just going, yeah, one of them. Like,
is there a different podcast to us that's making up rumours? Because we all wanted to stay. That was not one of the players that we had on our get rid of list, is it?
Not at all. Not at all. And, I mean, he's added another facet to, like, his whole thing now that he can sort of play and wing back as well. So, what other players? Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, maybe he's playing with that chip on his shoulder. Maybe that's a kind of good thing that he's showing that passion. Like, you can see it after the second goal. Like, he was really, like, giving it all.
He looked fuming, actually, low-key.
Literally looked livid when he was diving to the floor, like, fist bumping, screaming at himself. But yeah, like, that's what you kind of want to see, that chip on his shoulder where he's actually going to now start performing. But yeah, the other player, and I've been critical of him.
Mate. We need to make apologies, I feel.
Yeah. I've been critical of him. I've said he might not even be good enough for the championship at points this season. He's proving me wrong. I'm glad he's another player playing with a chip on his shoulder. Maybe he's listened, taken my advice, because he knows what a well-rounded defender I am. And, it's Adam Webster. He was sensational today. Sensational. What a performance.
He was very good.
I say today. It was Friday.
It was it was on Friday. It's Monday. First time traveling right now. No, he's actually class. And do you know what? He's been good for a couple games now. Both of them, actually. And when you're sort of this is a run-in now, isn't it? Is it a run-in? Or is it like 10 games and then it's a run-in? I don't know. Yeah. But we're 2/3 of the way through the season. And this is exactly what we need, is to have because Minte and Webster for a long period of time this season have been fringe players. And when you have injuries, you need your fringe players to step up. And this is exactly what I've been waiting for. This is perfect. It's because, like, now you need to make it hot. When a fringe player comes in and starts performing, all of the players, so like now I'm expecting, because of Rutter, I'm expecting João Pedro to pull his finger out. I'm expecting, I don't even know who plays in Minte's position. I mean, there's hella man that play there, but like, I'm expecting, Kalioglu doesn't count because he actually was doing bits, to be fair. But like, anyone who's sort of looking for that position, I want them to now pull their finger out. Dunk, sort it out, mate, because I was putting Webster and Dunk in the same category of ass, and now, I mean, Dunk needs to surely, and with the new lad as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it is very good.
And where's Eagle? What's happened to Eagle?
Eagle's he's done out. See, rest of the season. That was ages ago. That was before the January window. Maybe like a little bit before the January window. I think he got injured.
Did we ever speak about that?
I
might have missed that.
I think we've touched on it, saying like.
I just might have forgotten.
I feel like I remember saying Eagle's done. Like, it's done out now. So I think that forced our hand in the January
you are
window.
right. I've just checked. Yeah.
When did he get injured?
Early June 2025 is when he's next back, apparently.
Lord have mercy.
And yeah, January 4th was his last
game.
Okay,
so I was close.
Arsenal.
I was close. Was that? Oh, that was on my birthday when we were watching it in Winchester.
Oh yeah, but that's why. That's why. Didn't notice it.
Yeah, we didn't notice because we were hammered. Okay, fair enough. We literally all watched that game together as well.
Yeah. Blessings definitely doesn't know.
Blessings doesn't know who Igor is now.
Yeah. That day is wiped for him.
Oh dear, that's so funny. Is there anyone else other than Minte and Webster, do you think? Or
well, we got to give it to. I've got to give a shout out to Well, there are two players actually we'll give a shout out. One is the guy that got 2 assists. Obviously, that's Danny Welbeck. But I want to give it to both of them because him and Ruta, the link-up play is back. You know how we called it for like a couple of weeks ago, I think we said they need to find a way to like link up again. I think it might be me and Bless before a preview podcast of I think maybe even the Forest game or the game before that. We said I need to start seeing Ruta, Pedro, and Welbeck start linking up again. This game was the one where I went, finally. Like, the Minter goal, that one started from like a little flick around the corner. Oh, yeah, well, we'll go with, that one then. That was like a him.
That's like a 1-2 with Welbeck, and then he's like carried the ball.
Yeah. That first one was like him stepping in front of someone, playing it to Welbeck, getting it laid off, then taking on a couple of man, Ruta, drilling it across goal. And then the second Minter goal was like a ball from Verbruggen. He flicks it around the corner, knowing Welbeck's like must have eyes on the back of his head because he knows Welbeck's
yeah.
And then Welbeck lays it back off to him. He then spreads it wide. And like that just happened so many times. Ruta is coming on leaps and bounds this season. And like to your point earlier of saying like these fringe players need to start performing, he has stepped up to the plate towards the back end of the season.
Definitely. He's a very, very good player to watch. He actually reminds me a little bit of like Roberto Firmino in a way. Like the play style. He's a lot more athletic than Firmino is or was. I'm saying no, he's not dead, but like he still plays. But like he plays in Saudi, so it's not the same thing. But like I feel like that sort of link up play with people, being able to, because Firmino could dribble, he could pass to an extent. Like he had that link up play. Obviously, I mean he was playing with. They had the maddest front three. But like. I feel like Rutter can sort of be that sort of type of player. He's a very flamboyant false nine, I feel like, in a way. Because like when he plays off the right, he's never really on the right ever.
No,
do you know what I mean? Like, because he started on the right in this game, but he sort of just occupied. And I said about him occupying really awkward spaces for defenders because it just disjoints the defensive line, and you don't really know who's supposed to be picking him up because he's just gone walkabout and he's just in random areas. And I feel like that is a massive. It's just he's just been so good. He is just so good, and he's so good to watch. He's hilarious as well. Like when Minte scored, he literally just collapsed on the floor for no reason. Like it's just so funny, and like he gets it, which I've said before as well. He just gets it, and I feel like that is exactly what you need.
And crazy, still only 22. Like
exactly, yeah.
He does not play like he's 22. He plays like because he's a big guy. He plays literally like a man. He muscles people off the ball. Like just so many aspects to his game is brilliant.
Can't tackle to save his life though. It's hilarious.
But has the work rate.
Yeah, it has the work rate, but he can't tackle to save his life. I just want to give I'm not even going to touch on his performance, but apart from the assist, but I'm just going to say Verbruggen, well done for getting out of that slump because he made a great save. I feel like maybe towards the end. I don't know if he even counted as a save. I swear he's flicked it like onto the he's done something. It was crazy. But yeah, after this break, we are going to talk about the final segment, which it's going to be a shorter segment, but we're going to talk about the Matoma goal and we're going to talk about a certain salty Chelsea manager. So we will come back after this ad.
Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs, it's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
And we are back, Jamie G, the General, and your boy Joe Richardson for the final segment. And I'm just going to go straight in. What a goal.
Honestly,
outrageous.
Might be the goal of the season. Like,
hang it in the Louvre, is that what they say?
that is the saying.
That's the one, yeah.
Can I just say, when this happened, I wrote it in our group chat, and I want all the props for this. I said months ago.
You did
This
actually.
was
You
on a random
confirmed.
one.
Yeah,
On
it
just
was
a
so relevant to
random,
really what we were talking about as well.
yeah. But I just having what this was when he was putting up stinker after stinker after stinker. I went, but doesn't he not have? And I said this months ago. Does Mitoma not have the best touch when it's dropping from the
Over his
sky
shoulder, yeah.
in world football? Like in world football. Jamie Carragher said on commentary that was the best touch he's ever seen. Like, and he was trying to really not say like that was Messi-esque, that was like Maradona, that was like, and then he really tried saying that's not the best touch I've ever seen because he said that was like a pretty mad statement, but he couldn't
Yeah.
hold back from saying that was the best touch I've ever seen. I'm not like, that is the best touch I've ever seen. It's come from 70 yards over his shoulder.
Maybe a little
He's
bit
watching
more,
it.
to be fair.
Yeah, he's just watching it. Chalobah's on him as well. Like, he's like,
They're next to each other.
yeah, like contact. Yeah, on him.
Yeah.
I'll probably
No,
avoid that.
no, he was. They were
Yeah.
genuinely running side by side, yeah.
Side by side, holding his arm, and he's just had the ability to go plop onto his foot, then drop it dead, then cut in,
Yeah.
like within all one movement.
Yeah.
How
Chalobah
he's
could
done
not
that?
believe what he's seeing right now, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
When he come back to Chelsea, he was not thinking, no, I have to deal with
Yeah.
this nonsense, mate.
When he came back to Chelsea, he was not thinking he was going to be on like a highlight reel
Yeah.
of all time. You know, you know those goals, like the Bergkamp one where he flicks it over that
Yeah.
defender's head. He's now that's his legacy. The guy who has got done.
The touch is very it reminds me a little bit of like Riyad Mahrez. He was really good at that. Like but he would always take it down on the side of his foot, on his left foot. Obviously he was on the other side. He'd always take it, but it was always because obviously he's massively technical, isn't he, Riyad Mahrez? And like he just had that sort of ability to do that, very Berbatov way, like where Giroud, Giroud has a class first touch. What am I even questioning it? But like it is very even Suarez like against Newcastle when he's chested it down and then rounded the keeper. Do you remember that one? Yeah, like Colaccini maybe was the centre half.
Yeah.
And like it's such a hard skill because like when the ball's coming out, I'm going to sound like I have played in the Premier League. I haven't, but like just from experience, when the ball's up so high, you can't just put your foot in the place where the ball's going to be because it's just going to bounce off your foot, isn't it? Because you can't meet the ball and you can't leave your foot there because it's going to hit it. You have to meet the ball and then like you have to be in the right place. Your foot needs to be in the right place, and then you need to like bring your foot down to the floor at the right sort of like level to be able to stop the ball. And even then it could still roll a little bit ahead. It could whatever. Stopping it dead is insane. And like it's come from so far. Like you have all of this like that's in the park, like what I'm talking about. But like you have all the fans there. You have a Premier League caliber, barely defender like running after you. And like it is just insane. And also like it's the next steps. It's like he already knew in his head like what he's going to do next as soon as he touches the ball down, which is mad because I'd just be concentrating on getting the ball down in the first place, let alone cutting in and then going and scoring.
Yeah,
like it's just insane, mate. I reckon that will be. I reckon they'll put that up for goal of the season.
Yeah, I think
100%.
My question was going to be: do you think he's going to win goal of the season? This is where I'm actually at. That kind of goal that we saw Mitoma score is so rare. Like you see bangers all the time.
Yeah.
Like I see pole drivers. I've seen it from Belieber this season twice.
Like 4 times.
Where he just absolutely rocket launches it to like the top bit. I think that kind of goal that Mitoma scored is better in the sense that it's rarer. Like
it's harder.
It's harder, exactly. Yeah, like it's. We all see like anyone can have a shot at that level. Anyone can have like a shot that goes top bins and it's an absolute rocket. Whereas I think so few players, and I think Carragher was right on commentary. There are so few players that you are talking about the realms of. Berbatov probably could do that. Messi could do that. And like Mahrez is a good shout.
Berbatov can't do that at that pace, though.
Yeah, Berbatov wouldn't be running onto it.
No, but
would be
Berbatov's
more
not
like
running anywhere.
stand still.
Yeah, Giroud couldn't run onto that. Mahrez, it was, to be fair, he could do it while running. Like, even Sane, maybe in his prime, I guess, maybe. But
it's so rare, like these level of players. Like, that's how good that goal was. And I mean, 90 million euros after that goal. I mean, I think we should start upping the price. I know I'm very quick at changing my mind, if you haven't noticed, for the listeners at home. A couple of weeks ago, I said he wasn't worth 45 after he put an absolute stinker on. And now I'm saying 150, please, Saudi Arabia.
150? He's like tripled it. And I mean, I touched on it a little bit at the start, but if there's anything that's going to make Maresca more angry than he already was, it's going to be holding free and watching his team have no shots on target. I don't know the exact thing that he said, but he essentially was commenting on Hertzler, saying, do you know what he said exactly? Because I can't exactly remember. It was very salty. It was very like, he didn't want to give him any credit for what he's done so far and all that stuff.
He was asked to comment on what he thinks of Hertzler, and he said, I don't want to comment on that manager. All I can tell you is De Zerbi was a great manager, though. It's like,
right. Where is this beef come from?
Where's that come from? Why has he started beef? Like,
why have you started beefing someone who you were managing in the Championship last season, and then he was managing in Bundesliga 2 last season? So, where have you crossed? Are you like really good mates with De Zerbi or something? Is that what's going on?
Looks at it, yeah.
Like,
I guess they're both Italian. Maybe that's where he feels. Are they both Italian? Is Maresca Italian?
I think so. I believe so.
Guessing so. Enzo is his name. So
yeah. So I don't. It is very random, but I will say there should be more of it.
Yes.
If you're salty, mate, then fair enough. But
it just adds to our kind of rivalry with Chelsea now.
Yeah, it does.
This modern rivalry that we've got with them, where they keep buying all our players. Oh, sorry. Keep buying all our players and then losing to us, which is... They keep buying the as well. Also, can I just say, we might have upgraded with Belieber over Caicedo. No, I mean...
I think that he has a much bigger upside anyway. Like,
you'll hear my hot take. This is a good way to tune in for a Wednesday pod. You'll hear my hot take.
To be fair, I'm going to come up with something outrageous, mate. If I think hard enough, I'm going to come up with something outrageous. But yeah, no, it is just so random, and I do wonder if it did, because obviously the players know he said that, didn't they? So like, I wonder if it also has lit up a little bit of a fire as well. But you can't really make those comments after a loss, or was it even before the cup game?
No, I think it was between.
After.
I think it was between both games.
Yeah, I reckon Hertzler said a madness to him.
Yeah,
said something about him being bold, something like that. Bold people don't like it if you say stuff about them being bold. But yeah, I think that, you know what, long may it continue, mate, forever, however long Maresca's even there, because they literally love going through managers. But 3-0 win, Southampton away next, I believe. So we currently sit. I'm actually going to do this after every single review pod now. We're currently sitting 10th in the table, and we are 2 points behind 8th and 4 points behind 7th. So, and I mean 6 points behind 6th and 5th. So, I mean, there is absolutely nothing to say that we can't make a little push. There's still 13 games left. So, yeah, guys, you know the rules. Hit us up on all social media. Check out Bioniq. Check out Zencastr. Check out the Global Sports Podcast Network YouTube as well. That's a mouthful. Check out our YouTube, because we got a little other thing going on there. Keep up with all the views, all that stuff. We greatly appreciate it. Jamie G, you have a sign-off message for the people?
Up the Seagulls.
Love that for you. Up the Seagulls, indeed. And we will see you on a wildcard Wednesday coming up soon. So join us for that one. Farewell. Be safe. Love, prosperity, and guidance.
Peace.
Peace.